Alright, I'm back. Ang tagal ko nawala na. I think it was almost a year. So, for today, our topic is the recommended books and cases for those who are interested to pursue law. So, I'm gonna give some book recommendations. They're not actually your codals, but rather mga cases na gusto nyong basahin. And then if you're interested in that, then maybe that's a go signal that you want to take law. Alright, so um, bago tayo mag-start, I think the thing is, what do you call this? Nagtataka kayo kung bakit ako nawala. Number one is when I started this vlog, I was in Baguio, na-lockdown ako do, and then within 3 months, while we're trying to figure things out on how to conduct online classes, I just started this vlog. Then after 3 months, kung kailan nawala yung vlog ko, when I stopped recording the lessons, everything was smooth. Everything got busy with work, and that was a year. So that was a year na puro work lang. And then after that, after being locked down in Baguio for a year, I went back to Manila sa Taguig kung saan yung bahay ko, and then nakita ko siya, inaanay siya. So I had to renovate. So that's the reason why I was gone for almost a year. Okay, so let's go back to the topic. Number one is, ano ba yung mga recommended books if I want to pursue law? Okay? Number one, I would recommend this. Hindi ko magana yung slides ko. Teka lang. There we go. The Greatest Supreme Hits by Michael Trackman. So here, the cases that you're gonna read here are cases in the United States. However, pwede siyang ma-apply dito sa Philippines. Now, these are Supreme Court cases in America, and I'll just give you an example. For example is yung Miranda rights. Yung Miranda rights is, okay, you have to remain silent and so on. Dito, pag-uusapan, in this book, pinag-uusapan is, ano nga ba yung Miranda rights? Paano nagsimula yon? Another thing is, another case here, for example, di ba, we have the freedom of religion, and no state has to promote religion. Okay? Kasi may separation of church and state. So, ibig sabihin ba, for example, pag pumunta ako sa City Hall, tapos nakita ko yung 10 Commandments doon ng Catholic Bible, is the state promoting religion? Or is the state or the government promoting religion? Akala ko ba may separation of church and state? So, dito pinag-uusapan kung bawal ba yon or hindi. Okay? So, pinag-uusapan rin dito, how did the Constitution start? So, for example, when we say, how did the Constitution start? For example, ako yung isang author ng Constitution. Okay? And then, nagkaroon ng kaso. So, should the lawyer, tapos buhay pa ako as a Constitution author. Now, if there's an ambiguity in the Constitution, should the lawyer consult the the author of the Constitution, or is it up to the lawyer to interpret how the Constitution was was written, kung ano ba talaga yung nasa loob nun. So you could read that here in this book. Okay, so ito, nabili ko to sa fully book dun sa Taguig. So when I saw this, binili ko siya kaagad. Alright? The next book would be the Philippine Multimedia Law Sources. And to be honest, my background is in multimedia, and I really like this book. So dito, hindi siya parang mga memorization, but rather mga interesting cases na gusto nyong basahin. Nandito, for example, yung right of publicity and right of privacy. A good example is, for example, bakit noon pinapakita natin yung when there was an issue in the Senate regarding the impeachment of Estrada or former President Erap, pinapakita ng media kung ano yung mga bahay ni Erap. Di ba meron siyang may bahay siya dun sa Boracay? Pinakita ng media yon, okay? But how come, right now, hindi natin pwedeng malaman kung saan yung bahay ni Health Secretary Duque or ni Harry Roque? Is that is there a difference between the right of privacy and right of publicity in the media? Nandito rin, for example, yung mga copyright laws. A good example here, sabi natin, is that everything that I publish online, okay, na ginawa ko is automatically copyrighted, which is true. However, if you go to the Intellectual Property Office, may portion doon sa website nila, sa IPO Philippines, may portion doon sa website nila where you have to register your copyright. So ano yung difference nun? So that is also defined here in this book. Pag nakita nyo, sira-sira na. Also in this book, sinasabi rin na there's law regarding e-signatures. So for example, I have a contract, okay? I have a contract, sinent via email, sinainan ko digitally, then I give it back to the company. Now, after that, walang addendum sa contract, pero via email, nag-usap-usap kami na gusto kong ilagay to or revision sa contract. Pero, hindi nila ni-revise yung contract per se, pero sa email nilagay nila, okay. Is that valid? So that is also found here in this book. Okay, so ang dami dito, there's also advertising law, ano ba yung false light, and a good thing about here, makikita nyo, there are the different types of defenses available for each case. So this is actually a good book if you're interested in media. Okay, the thing is, dahil lahat ngayon is online, I think this is a good book to start with if really interested in media law. Lahat naman online. So I think this is a good book. Okay? Alright. Also, pinag-uusapan rin pala dito yung piracy. So yeah, it's actually good. It's very interesting. What is the difference between the right of distribution and right of publication? Okay? So, for example, ang CD, pinahiram ko, tapos pinirata. Okay? May tinatawag dyan na right of distribution and right of publication. So, yun lang masasabi ko dito, and I really love this book. The next book would be this one, Business Law Text and Cases. So, I have a PowerPoint, and dito, papakita yung mga rules. So, if I'm going to show here, I have a PDF here regarding this book. Alright? This is actually a good book kasi there are cases here na ano ba dapat yung rules sa cheque, bankruptcy, alright? Ano, for example, yung mga internet laws or intellectual property laws. So if you would see here, there's also a portion regarding e-contracts, e-signatures, and so on. Breach of contract remedies, and so on. Ano ba yung mga bankruptcy law? So although this book is based on the law in the United States, maganda rin siyang pag-usapan kasi when you read it, it's not actually articles, but if you would see paragraphs and then you just read it, and then para siyang nagkikwento pag nakita mo, and then you have cases here, and then ano yung ginawa ng mga lawyers, and then you have, for example, the defenses of negligence, makikita mo yung mga possible defenses dyan, and then the cases that are applicable to that law. Okay, so this is actually a good book. Mahaba nga lang siya, but if you're interested in employment law, business law, this is actually a good law. Okay, there's also laws on the web. Yan, okay? So makikita nyo siya dyan. Lastly, I would recommend this book not for non-lawyers, but rather lawyers or who are already legal professionals. Ito siya, I bought this in the IPO office at the gig, and actually it's not about cases but rather rules, okay, regarding intellectual property law. The reason why I'm recommending this is because everything now is online, everything now is work from home, and in the future you will have cases regarding intellectual property. Say for example, classes now are being recorded online. So for example, if I'm a student, I have access I have access to those classes done by my teacher, pwede ko bang i-share yon? Ano yung mga legalities regarding sharing those intellectual properties? Aside from your, what do you call this? Aside from those copyrights, meron rin mga trademarks, laws on patent, industry, what do you call those? Industry patents, and so on, or industrial designs. There's also here a rule on arbitration. So if you want, you could buy this one, but I would not recommend this for non-lawyers. I would only recommend this for lawyers who are interested in intellectual property law. Okay? So with that, that's the end of my video, and I hope you could buy those books and tell me if you bought those books and how you find it. Okay? So don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you.